A Farewell to the World by Ben Jonson. False world, good night, since thou hast brought that hour upon my morn of age. Henceforth I quit thee from my thought, my part is ended on thy stage. Yes, I threaten, do, alas, I fear as little as I hope from thee, and know thou canst not show nor bear more hatred than thou hast to me. My tender, first, and simple years thou didst abuse and then betray, since stirredst up jealousies and fears, when all the causes were away. When in the soil hast planted me, where breathed the basest of thy fools, their envious arts professed be, and pride and ignorance the schools. Where nothing is examined, weighed, but as 'tis rumoured, so believed, there every freedom is betrayed, and every goodness taxed or grieved. But what we're born for, we must bear. Our frail condition, it is such, that what to all may happen here, if it chance to me, I must not grudge. Else I my state should much mistake, to harbour a divided thought from all my kind, that, for my sake, there should a miracle be wrought. Now I do know that I was born to age, misfortune, sickness, grief, but I will bear these with its scorn, as shall not need thy thoughts relief. Nor for my peace will I go far, as wanderers do that still roam, but make my strengths such as they are, here in my bosom and at home. A Hymn on the Nativity of my Saviour by Ben Jonson. I sing the birth was born tonight, we offer both of life and light. The angels so that sounded, and like the ravished shepherd said, who saw the light and were afraid, yet searched, and true they found it. The Son of God, the eternal King, that did us all salvation bring, and freed the soul from danger. He whom the whole world could not take, the Word which heaven and earth did make, was now laid in a manger. The Father's wisdom willed it so, the Son's obedience knew no. Both wills were in one stature, and as that wisdom had decreed, the Word was now made flesh indeed, and took on him our nature. What comfort by him do we win, who made himself the price of sin, to make us heirs of glory, to see this babe all innocence, a mare born in our defence. Can man forget the story? A Nymph's Passion by Ben Jonson. I love, and he loves me again, and dare not tell who. If a nymph should know my swain, I fear we'd love him too. And if he be not known, the pleasure is as good as none, for that scenario joy is but our own. I'll tell, but if they be not glad, they may not envy me. But then, if I grow jealous, mad, and of him pitied be, it were a plague, both scorn, and yet it cannot be forborne, unless my heart would, as my thought, be torn. He is, if they can find him, fair and fresh and fragrant too, as summer sky or perched air, and looks as lilies do, that are this morning blown. Yet, I doubt he is not known, and fear much more when more of him be shown. But he hath eyes so round and bright, as make away my doubt, where love may all his torches light, for hate had put them out. But when to increase my fears, what nymph source's voice but hears, will be my rival, for she hath but ears. I'll tell no more, and yet I love, and he loves me, yet no one unbecoming thought doth move from either heart I know. But so exempt from blame, as it would be to each a fame, if love or fear would let me tell his name.
A Prayer by Ben Jonson. Again, come yield all your strength to me. From far low word breathes on the breaking brain, its cool, calm, submission, misery, gentling out to do a soul bedistant. Jesus, silent love, my do, blind me with your dark nearness. Oh, have mercy, beloved enemy of my will. I dare not withstand the cold touch that I dread. Draw for me still, with slow life, bend a deep on me, threatening head, proud by my downfall, remembering, pitying him who is, him who was. Again, together fooled by the night, they lay on earth. I hear from far a low bird breathe on my breaking brain. Come, I yield, bend deep upon me. I'm here, subdue, do not leave me, only joy, only anguish. Talk me, save me, soothe me, oh spare me.
An Elegy by Ben Jonson. For beauty be the mark of praise, and yours of whom I sing be such, as not the world can praise too much, yet 'tis your virtue nor erase. A virtue like a lay, so gone throughout your form as, thou wilt move and draw and conquer all men's love, with subjects you to love of one. Therein you triumph yet, because 'tis of your flesh, and that you use the noblest freedom not to choose against our faith or honor's laws. But who should less expect from you, in whom alone love lives again, by whom he is restored to man, and kept and bred and brought up true? His falling temples you have reared, withered garlands tanned away, as altars kept from that decay that envy wished and nature feared. And on them burn such chaste a flame with so much loyalty's expense, as love to acquit such excellence as gone himself into your name. And you are he, the deity, to whom all lovers are designed, that would their better objects find, among which faithful troop am I, who as an offering at your shrine have sung with him, and he entreat one spark of your diviner heat to light upon a love of mine, which if it kindle not, but scant appear, and that to shortest view, yet give me leave to adore in you what I in home grieve to want.
An Ode to Himself by Ben Jonson. Where dost, O careless lie, buried in ease and sloth, knowledge that sleeps doth die, and this security is it the common move, that eats on wits and arts, and that destroys them both. Are all Ionian springs dried up? Lies Hesper's waste? Doth Clara's harp on springs, but not as Nymph nor sings, or Drew whereas disgraced, to see their seats and bowers by chattering peace defaced. If hence the silence be, as 'tis too just a cause, that is for to quicken we, minds that are great and free should not on fortune pause. 'Tis grown enough to virtue still her own applause. What for to greedle fry we taken with forward spades of all baldry, and think it possible they die with her Countess, and only piteous scorn upon where folly waits. When taken hand they lie, strike in the proper strain, with Jeopard's line aspire, so its chariot for new fire to give the world again, who aided him will be the Jesus of Jove's brain. And since our dainty age cannot endure reproof, make not to thyself a page, to that strumpet the stage, that sing high and aloof, safe from a wolf's black jaw, and the dull as hoof. And must I sing? By Ben Jonson. And must I sing? What subject shall I choose? Or whose great name in poets have in use, for the more contenance to my active muse? Hercules, alas, his bones are yet sore, with his old earthly labours, taxed more of his dull good head, where sine, I'll implore. Phoebus, no, tend the cat still, envious day shall not give out what I have made me stay, and from what way hot team to tune my lay. Nor will I beg of thee, Lord of the wine, to raise my spirits with a conjured wine, in the green circle of ere we twine. Pallas, no we are called on, mankind made, that all the birth makes the poor smith afraid, who with his aches the father midwife played. Go I cramp the Mars like Venus when he snorts, or with a triple trine invents new sports, or nor the looseness of my manking swords. Let the old boy, your sonner, play the old task, turn the stale prologue to some painted mask, as absence in my verse is all I ask. Hermes, the cheater, should not mix with us, for you would steal his sister's Pegasus, and rifle him, or pawn his Pegasus. Nor all the ladies of the Tevison lake, for they were crushed into one form, could make a beauty of that merit I should take my muse up by commission. Now I bring my own true fire, now my fawn takes wing, and now in a poet to deep the ears I sing. Begging Another by Ben Jonson. For love's sake, kiss me once again. I long and should not beg in vain, is none to spy or see. Why do you dote or stay? I taste as lightly as the bee, that doth but touches flower and flies away. Once more in faith I will be gone. Can he that loves ask less when one? Nay, your mother in this, and all your bounty wrong, this could be called but half a kiss. What were but once to do, we should do long. I will but met the last and tell, where, how it should have released well. Join lip to lip and try, each suck another's brief, and whilst our houses perplexed lie, let who will think us dead or wish us death. Conditions of Living by Ben Jonson. Living a whole life has three conditions: observing work, which demands and brings fulfillment, a group of friends with whom we exchange minds, and a full love to be lost in all the time. Of these I have the easier two, but lack the third, and lacking you. For a Girl in a Book by Ben Jonson. Kim, composed of all my loves, less real than most, more real than all, for making all the good and some for bad, yet of yourself, soul unique, strong, alone, whole, independent, one, yet mine, and that you cannot be unfaithful.
His Supposed Mistress by Ben Jonson. If I freely can discover what would please me in my lover, I would have her fair and witty, savoying more of court than city, a little proud but full of pity, light and humorous in her toying, of building hopes and soon destroying, long but sweet in the enjoying, neither too easy nor too hard. All extremes I would have bared. She should be allowed her passions, so they were but used as fashions, sometimes froward and when frowning, sometimes sickish and when swoning. Every fit will change still crowning, purely jealous I would have her, when only constant when I crave her, 'tis a virtue should not save her. Thus nor her delicates would cloy me, neither her peevishness annoy me.
Hymn to Diana by Ben Jonson. Queen and Huntress, chaste and fair, now the sun is laid to sleep, seated in the silver chair, state and wonted men keep, as Paris entreats the light, goddess excellent bright. Earth, let not the envious shade dare itself to interpose, Cynthia's shining orb was made, heaven to clear when day did close. Bless us when the wished sight, a goddess excellent bright. Lay the bow of pearl apart, and the crystal shining quiver, give unto the flying heart space to breathe, or short soever, though it makes a day of night, goddess excellently bright. It is not growing like a tree, by Ben Jonson. It is not growing like a tree, and bulked of make man better be, or standing long an oak 300 year, to fall a log at last, dry, bald, and serene. A lily of a day is fairer than in May. Although it fall and die at night, it was the plant and flower of light. In small proportions we just beauty see, and in short measures life may perfect be. Living by Ben Jonson. Walking, snow falling, it is possible to focus at various distances and turn on separate flakes, sharply engaged, the attention of several spading points, the near cold and more uncomfortable, the farther distance and almost pleasing. Living, time passing, it is preferable to focus the memory and turn upon the more distant retrospect in order that the present mind may retain its peace, yet knowing that seeing and remembering are both of course personal illusions. Love All by Ben Jonson. A decorously informative church guide to sex suggestion with any urge could well be controlled by playing tennis, and the game provided also many harmless opportunities for healthy social intercourse between the sexes. For weeks the drawings in the guide mislead me as to what went worth, but nonetheless I booked the public courts and learned the game with the curious youths of my age, and later joined a club to lose 6-1, 6-love in the first round of the Open. But the only girl I ever met had her energies channeled for to bloody healthy tea, and very quickly let me know that love was merely another means of saying no. It was not as though I became any good at tennis either. My Picture Left in Scotland by Ben Jonson. I now think love's rather deaf than blind, for else it could not be that she, whom I adore so much, should so slight me and cast my love behind. I'm sure my language to her was as sweet, and every close did meet in sentence of a subtle feat, as half the youngest he that sits in shadow of Apollo's tree. Oh, but my consciousness fierce that fly my thoughts between, tell me when she hath seen my hundreds of grey hairs, told 7 and 40 years, read so much waste as she cannot embrace, my mountain belly, my rocky face, and all these through her eyes have stopped her ears. Natural Progress by Ben Jonson. In all faith we did our part. Generated punctual, prepared adequately, ejected promptly, and swum in the approved manner in the appropriate direction, did all indistinctly things well, even eagerly, an exemplary start. But when the barrier, unexpectedness, unexpectedly, we did not tell us this, to go back impossible, unnatural, surround many times, we tired ourselves. Where were the promised homes embedded in the soft wall, of the anticipated achievement so momentous fulfilling? So we did. What else was there to do? But in all faith we did our part. 9 Stages Towards Knowing by Ben Jonson. Why do we lie? Why do we lie? She questioned, her warm eyes on the grey autumn wind and its causing. All afternoon wasted in bed like this, because we cannot lie all night together. Yes, she said, satisfied at my reasoning, going on to search her cruel mind for better excuses to leave my narrow bed. Too many fresh suppers, abstracted in art, in architecture, in scholar detail, absorbed by music, by minutiae, by sad trivia, all to affect her, whom I can forget no more by breathing. Fat rigor. Somewhere, some nights, she sees curtains rise on rose rides, all new and fat. I sit here, desolate, in spite of company. Love is between people, and should she die? And should she die tonight, with a 3 years difference as well between us? No, oh no, we may perhaps and bring pain to live and damage for lives. In any case, I wish her no good, whom I loved, as burner loved iron. Always Sunday long, it has snowed, and I waited with a galled grief, struggling to unseat her from my mind. Yet winnowing our past, I cannot find a snow-gilded scene, however brief, must to a wild fee increase my load. Spatial definition. Raise the room in which we made so much love. I try to replace it in space against wind-wrecked plane trees, my eyes court her air. Able at last, she writes, to see things as we were. I wonder we were so blind to think our trust could bind instead of just defer. I shuddered all her faults, how it was from the heights, not how it was at all. Arrived at a place to wish I always said I was going, comfortless to lack of her who chose not to travel with me. To wherever my way, to wherever next, is also alone. Knowledge of her was earning like minna prey. Afterwards I sought friend's knowledge of her. Now I need to know nothing of this girl, she whom once I knew as my tongue of my mouth. On a Robbery by Ben Jonson. White Ray robbed and cowed to £300. White Ray was done, agreeing condemned to die. But for his money was a court found, begged Right's pardon, then quote, thou doth cry. Word both with money and for law's relief, the court has become the greater thief.
On Elizabeth L.H. by Ben Jonson. Wouldst thou hear what men can say in a little? Reader, stay. Underneath a stone doth lies much beauty as could die, which in life that harbour give to more virtue than doth live. If at all she had a fault, leave it buried in this vault. One name was Elizabeth, the other let it sleep with death. Fitter, where it died, to tell than that it lived at all. Farewell. On Lucy, Countess of Bedford, by Ben Jonson. This morning timely wrapped with howdy fire, I thought to form unto my zealous muse what kind of creature I could most desire to know, serve, and love as poets use. A man to make her fair and free and wise, of greatest blood, and yet more good than great. I meant the day-star should not brighter rise, nor lend like influence from his Lucian seed. I meant she should be courteous, facile, sweet, hating that solemn vice of greatness, pride. I meant each softest virtue where should meet, fit in that softer bosom to reside. Only a learned and a manly soul I purposed her, that should with even powers the rock, the spindle, and the shears control of destiny, and spin her own free hours. Such when I meant to feign and wish to see, my muse bade Bedford write, and that was she.
On my first daughter, by Ben Jonson. Here lies to each her parents' roof, Mary, the daughter of her youth. Yet all heaven's gifts, being heaven's due, it makes my father less to rue. At 6 months' end she parted hence, with safety of her innocence, whose soul heaven's queen, whose name she bears, and comfort of her mother's tears, have placed amongst her virgin train, where, while reserved doth remain, this grief partakes the fleshly birth, which cover lightly gentle earth. On my first son, by Ben Jonson. Farewell, thou child of my right hand and joy, my sin was too much hope of thee, loved boy. 7 years were word lent to me, and I thee pay, exacted by thy fate on the just day. How could I lose old father now? For why will man lament the state he should envy? To have too soon scaped worlds and fleshed rage, and if no other misery yet age. Rest in soft peace, and ask, say, here doth lie Ben Jonson, his best piece of poetry, for whose sake henceforth all his woes be such, as what he loves may never like too much.
On Shakespeare, by Ben Jonson. I remember the players have often mentioned it as an honor to Shakespeare that in his writing, whatsoever he penned, he never blotted out a line. My answer hath been, would he had blotted 1,000, which have thought a malevolent speech. I had not told posterity this, but for their ignorance, which shows that circumstance to commend their friend by wherein he most faulted, and to justify mine own candour, for I loved the man to honour his memory on this side idolatry as much as any. He was indeed honest, and of an open and free nature, had an excellent fancy, brave notions, and gentle expressions, wherein he flowed with that facility that sometime it was necessary he should be stopped. So flaminandus erat, as Augustus said of Haterius. His wit was in his own power, would the rule of it had been so too. Many times he fell into those things could not escape laughter, as when he said in the person of Caesar when speaking to him, Caesar, thou dost me wrong. He replied, Caesar did never wrong, but with just cause, and such like which were ridiculous. But he redeemed his vices with his virtues. There was ever more in him to be praised than to be pardoned.
On Something That Walks Somewhere by Ben Jonson. At court I met it in clothes brave enough to be a courtier, and looks grave enough to seem a statesman. As I near it came, it made me a great face. I asked my name. A lord, it cried, buried in flesh and blood, and such from whom let no man hope less good. For I will do none, and as little ill, for I will dare none, God Lord, walk dead still. Opening Doors by Ben Jonson. He smashed his hand in opening a door for her, and less pain than embracement shrieking through him. Concealing both, grimacing as a theatrically, he asked himself who he thought he was to go around opening doors for anyone, much less for her. Preconception by Ben Jonson. I have no children, but tonight a poem came in which a small child, my daughter, appeared at the door of a half-lit room where late one night I wrote at a heavy desk. And though interruption was hardly welcome, I took her to myself just as the poem comforted this daughter until she found peace. The poems and the children come as they will come. Queen and Huntress by Ben Jonson. Queen and Huntress, chaste and fair, now the sun is laid to sleep, seated in the silver chair. State in wonted manner keep, Hesperus entreats the light, goddess excellently bright. Earth, let not the envious shade there itself to interpose. Sinful shining orb was made, heaven to clear when day did close. Bless us when the wished sight, goddess excellently bright. Lay the bow of pearl apart, and a crystal shining quiver give unto the flying heart. Space to breathe, how short soever, oh that makes the day of night, goddess excellently bright. So breaks the sun by Ben Jonson. So breaks the sun earth's racking chains, where rude when they bound her wings. So grows both stream and source of price, but lately feathered were with ice. So naked trees get crisp heads, and colored coats the roughest meats, and all that vigor, youth, and spirit, while I but looking on by his light. Song from the Silent Woman by Ben Jonson. Still to be neat, still to be dressed, as you were going to a feast, still to be powdered, still perfumed, lady, it is to be pursued. Though art-hid causes are not found, all is not sweet, all is not sound. Give me a look, give me a face, but make simplicity a grace. Robes loosely flowing, hairs free, such sweet neglect more taketh me than all the adulteries of art. They strike mine eyes, but not my heart. The Hourglass by Ben Jonson. Do but consider this small dust, here running in the glass, the atoms moved. Could you believe that with the boy was, who wondered laughed, and in his mistress' flame, playing like a fly, turned to cinder by her eye? Yes, and in death, its life unblessed, to have it expressed, even ashes of lovers find no rest. The Noble Balm by Ben Jonson. High-spirited friend, I send no balms nor conserves to your wound. Your fate hath found a gentler and more agile hand to tend. The cure of that which is but corporal, and doubtful days which were named critical have made the fairest flight and now out of sight. Yet doth some wholesome physic for the mind wrapped in this paper lie, which in the taking if you misapply you are unkind. Your covetous hand, happy and with fair honour it half gained, must now be reigned. Truela doth her own renown command, in one full action, nor have you no more to do than be a husband of its store. Think but how dear you bought this fame which you have caught. Such thoughts will make you more in love of true. 'Tis wisdom, and that high for man to use a fortune reverently even in youth. The Noble Nature by Ben Jonson. It is not growing like a tree, in bulk doth make than better be, or standing long on oak 300 years, to fall a log at last, dry, bald, and sere. A lily of a day is fairier far in May. All would fall and die that night. It was a planted flower of light. In small proportions we just beauty see, and in short measures life may perfect be. The Short Fear by Ben Jonson. My awkward grossness grows, I go down through. I maintain myself in the conviction that I have as much to say as others at more opposite ways of saying it. Certainly I feel it has all been said. The short fear is that even saying it in my own way is equally pointless. The Speech by Ben Jonson. The long laments I span for ruined Troy are dried, and now mine eyes run tears of joy. No more shall man suppose Electra dead, forth from the consort of her sisters fled, unto the Arctic circle here to grace, and gild this day with her serenest face. And see, my daughter Iris hasted to throw her rosed wings in compass of a bow about our state as sign of my approach, attracting to a seat from earth's coach 1,000 different and particular views, which she throughout her body doth diffuse. The sun, as loath to part from his half-sphere, stands still, and folk labours to appear in all as bright, if not as rich, as he. And, for a note of more serenity, my 6 fair sisters hiver shift their lights, to do with hour the utmost of her rights. Where less the captures, or profane my dote, how these clear heavenly bodies come about, all to be seen at once, yet neither's light eclipsed or shadowed by the other side. Let ignorance know, great king, this day is thin, and doth admit no night, but all to shine, as well nocturnal as diurnal fires, to add unto the flame of our desires, which are no more haste closed up Venus' gates, and gift so general peace to all estates, but now offensive mist or cloudy stain, they mix with splendor of a golden rain. But, as face treat the chamber from the noise of war and tumult, woe by power these joys upon this place, which claims to be the seat of all the kindly race, the cabinet to all the councils, and the judging chair to this the special kingdom, whoso fair and wholesome laws, in every court shall strive, their credit and their first innocence to thrive. The base and guilt bribes of guilty man shall give her back, and justice look, as when she laughed the earth, and feared not be sold. For wit, which waked all things to it, gold. The dam of other evils, errors shall her look down her jaws, and the rude vice of ignorant and petite greatness, pride declined with shame. Ambition no shall hide her face in dust, is dedicate to sleep, but in great portals want her watch to keep. All ills shall fly the light, the court be free, nor less from envy than from flattery. All tumult, faction, and harsh discord cease, that might perturb the music of a peace. Recurrent nature shall no longer find room for his thoughts. One pure consent of mind shall flow in every breast, and not the ire, sun, moon, or stars shine more resently fair. With from that loud blessed oracle I sing, who here and first pronounced that Britain is king. Long mayst more live, and see me thus appear, as omnious a comet for my sphere, and to reign as that did expiate, to lasting glory to Augustus' state.
The Triumph by Ben Jonson. See the chariot at hand here of love, wherein my lady rideth. Each that draws is a swan or a dove, and well the car love guideth. As she goes, all hearts do duty unto her beauty, and in armour do wish, so they might but enjoy such a sight, that they still were to run by her side, through swords, through seas, whither she would ride. Do but look on her eyes, they do light all that love's world compriseth. Do but look on her hair, it is bright as love's star when it riseth. Do but mark her forehead's mother, when words that soothe her, and from her arched brows such a grace sheds itself through the face, as alone that triumphs to the life, all the gain, all the good, all the elements strive. Have you seen but a bright lily grow before rude hands have touched it? Have you marked but the fall of snow before the soil hath smudged it? Have you felt the wool of beaver or swan's down never? Or felt the bud of a briar, of a nard in the fire? Or tasted the bag of a bee? Oh, so white, oh, so soft, oh, so sweet is she. To Censorious Courtling by Ben Jonson. Courtling, rather thou shouldst utterly dispraise my work than praise it frostily. When I am read, thou feign'st the weak applause, as if thou wert my friend, but lack'st the cause. Whispered thy judgment fools, the other way would both thy folly and thy spite betray. To Doctor Empiric by Ben Jonson. When man a dangerous disease did scape, without we gave a cock to escape. Let me give too, but doubly I'm got free from my disease's danger and from we. To fine lady would it be by Ben Jonson. Fine madam would it be, wherefore should you fear that love to make so well a child to bear? The world reputes you barren, but I know you poor for carry and his drugs has no. Is it the pain of frights that soon forgot, or your complexion's loss? You have a pot that can restore it. Will it hurt your feature? To make amends, you afford a wholesome creature. What should the cause be? Or you live with cold, there's both loss of time and loss of sport in a great belly. Right when on thy womb, of for not born yet buried, here's the tomb.
To my book by Ben Jonson. It will be looked for book when some but see thy title, epigrams and named of me. Thou shouldst be bold, licentious, full of gall, wormwood and sulphur, sharp and toothed withal, become a petulant thing, hurl ink and wit, as madmen stones, not caring whom they hit. Deceive their malice who could wish it so, and by thy wiser temper let men know thou art not covetous, or least self-fame, made from the hazard of another's shame, much less with lewd, profane, and beastly phrase to catch the world's loose laughter or vain gaze. He that departs with his own honesty for vulgar praise doeth it too early by. To the Same by Ben Jonson. Kiss me, sweet, a weary lover. Can your favors keep and cover? The common courting jade, all your bounties will betray. Kissing again, a creature comes, kissing and score wealthy sums. My lips must hardly sunder it, while you breathe. First give 100 and 1,000 and another. 100 when unto the other. Added 1,000 and some more, till you creel with a store, of regress with rum yields, over sands and shady fields, over drops and silver Thames, over stars that gild his dreams in the silent summer nights. When youth ply with stolen delights, that the curious may not know how to tell them as they flow, and be envious when they find what a number is being pined. To the World by Ben Jonson. A farewell for a gentlewoman, virtuous and noble. False world, good night, since thou hast brought my horn upon my morn of age. Henceforth I quit thee for my fort. My part is ended on the stage. Thou not once hope when thou canst tempt, as spirits are resolved to treat upon that throat and live exempt. From all the nets that thou canst breed, I know the formers of studied arts, with subtle ways, be narrow straits, where courteous but sudden starts, and what thou calls the gifts are baits. I know too, thought thou strut and paint, yet art thou both shrunk up and old. But only fools make thee a saint, and all the good is to be sold. I know thou whole art but a shop of toils and striffles, traps and snares, to take a weak or make them stop. Yet art thou falser when thou wears, and knowing this should I yet stay, like such a blow away their lives, and never will redeem a day, and aimer of her golden gifts. Or having scaped, shall I return, and thrust my neck into the nose, whence so lately I did burn, for my powers myself to lose? What bird or beast is known to duel, that fleet his cage, or broke his chain, and tasting air and freedom, while render his head and wear again? If these, who have but sense, can shun the engines that have them annoyed, little for me had reason done, if I could not the Guinness avoid. Yes, threatened though, alas I fear, as little as a hope from thee. And thou canst nor shew nor bury my trade than thou hast to me. My tender, first and simple years, thou didst abuse and then betray, since stirredst up jealousies and fears when all the causes were away. When a soil hast planted me, where breathe the basest of the foolest, where envious art processed be, and pride and ignorance the schools, where nothing is examined and weighed, but as 'tis rumoured to be lived, where every freedom's betrayed, and every godness taxed or grieved. But what we are born for we must bear, our fragile condition it is such. But what to all may happen here, if changed to me, I must not crutch, else I my state should much mistake, to harbour a divided thought from all my kind, but for my sake where should a miracle be wrought? No, I don't know when I was born, to age, misfortune, sickness, grief, but I will be always, with its scorn. I shall not need the false relief, nor for my peace will I go fair, as one of Bordeaux, but still the road, but make my strength such as we are, here in my bosom and at home. Why I write not to laugh, by Ben Jonson. Some act of love's bound to rehearse, I found to bind him in my verse, which when he failed, away, quoth he, can poets hope to fetter me? It is enough who once did get Mars, my mother, and Bennett. I will not weave my wings in vain, with which he fled me, and again into my rhymes could ne'er be got by any art. When wonder not that since my numbers are so cold, when love is fled and I grew old,